Hello, my name is Margot and I work for a very special charity called Father Hudson's Care. Father Hudson's Care is a Catholic charity working in the Archdiocese of Birmingham, and that archdiocese covers a huge geographical area stretching from Stoke-on-Trent in the north down to the River Thames in the south. It includes 7 cities, 5 counties and has a population of over 5 million. Our aim at Father Hudson's is to reach out and help all those who are struggling with life on a daily basis within that archdiocese. We are currently working in 18 different projects and services, and we have 5 main themes to our work. These include working with those who have disability, those who are facing challenges every day. We work with older people, supporting those who are feeling lonely and isolated, and those who have a condition called dementia. We welcome refugees. Some of you may remember, if I came to your school last year, I spoke about our work with Ukrainian refugees who are fleeing the war and coming to the Midlands to settle and start new lives. We also do a lot of work and support children and their families who are facing many problems in this day and age, be it poverty or perhaps bullying at school. And our 5th theme is homelessness. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our work with the homeless in Birmingham. I'm sure many of you watching here today have seen a homeless person in your local town or city. Perhaps they were sitting on a park bench or in a shop doorway. And whilst we feel sorry for them, I don't think any of us really understand how awful life is if you're living on the streets and how dangerous it can be. To be honest with you, when I see somebody homeless, it makes me feel uncomfortable, because I believe that nobody in the 21st century should be homeless. Everybody should have a roof over their heads. But at times we're at a loss to know what to do and how we can help. We all take so much for granted, don't we? We all have routines before school and before work. Just think for a moment about some of the things that you did before school today. I'm sure most of you this morning woke up in a bed. And so you've been snuggling in there all night with your duvet or blankets and nice warm pillow. Then you'll have got up and you'll have gone perhaps to the bathroom. And then at some stage you will have probably had some breakfast if you were lucky and you had enough time. So perhaps a bowl of cereal or some toast. And then you'll have probably gone back into your bathroom, brushed your teeth and washed your face before putting on your nice dry clothes before you came to school. I'm sure that sounds familiar to many of you here watching. And then there are routines that we do after school. Some of you might get out of your uniform, put your nice comfy clothes on and chill out on a sofa or a chair in front of the TV watching your favourite programmes. Or you might play with your PlayStation. Some of you might do a little bit of homework, sitting at the kitchen table, learning your spellings or doing your latest project. And then at some stage during the evening, you'll have something to eat, whether or not that's a pizza or some pasta, but hopefully a nice warm meal. And then later on in the evening, you'll go into the bathroom, brush your teeth, and then climb into your nice warm bed. But if you're homeless or a rough sleeper, none of those routines apply. You don't have a nice warm bed to climb into at night with anybody reading you a nice bedtime story or gently waking you up and whispering in your ear in the morning that it's time for school. You don't have a nice living room to chill out in, to watch the TV or the latest programmes on the television. You don't have a kitchen to use, so you don't have the access to a fridge or an oven to warm up your food or get yourself a hot drink. You have no bathroom, so you can't go to the loo whenever you want or have a nice hot shower. You can't even wash your clothes. You just sit day by day, perhaps on a pavement, getting cold and wet. If you're lucky, you might have a sleeping bag to keep you warm when times are really, really cold. Many people think that being homeless is just not having a bed for the night. But as you can see, it is so much more than that. You face other problems too. For example, you have no access to a GP surgery because you need a permanent address to sign on. You don't have access to a bank account, again, because you need a permanent address. I'm sure that we would all agree that being homeless must be one of the most difficult challenges that anybody can face in life. And I think we should all do our very best to support them. And that's exactly what Father Hudson did back in 2017 when we opened Tabor House. Tabor House was opened in 2017 in Digbeth in Birmingham as Birmingham's first permanent night shelter. There have been night shelters and are night shelters in Birmingham, but sometimes they are only seasonal, for example, during the winter or at Christmas. Others welcome guests, but they are turned out in the morning and the homeless have to queue again in the evening, hoping to get a bed for the night. But our attitude at Table House was different. We wanted to get people off the streets permanently into their own accommodation and employment and living independent lives. And to date, we have been very successful. We have helped 108 rough sleepers change their lives around. And how have we done that? Well, we've done it through strength-based mentoring, which basically means that every person who comes to Table House is assigned a mentor who works one-to-one with the guest, working intensively, focusing on what they can do rather than on what they can't do. This gives them the belief that they can change their lives around, that there is a happier future ahead of them. In April last year, we moved to bigger premises at St. Catherine of Siena's Church, who had a large presbytery which was converted for the use of Table House, which has now been rebranded as Table Living. We are still supporting those who need emergency accommodation coming off the streets as we did before, but we now have a moving on facility for those who have been homeless but who are now in employment but are just a little bit worried and need a helping hand to make that transition from being homeless to living fully independent lives. So here we have a few pictures of some of the facilities at Table Living. On this slide you can see some of the photographs in the emergency facilities. As you can see, there's a lovely homely lounge with sofas, nice dining area, and just through the hatch, the kitchen where everybody gathers for meals. Everybody is given a nice room, which we call a pod, for them to sleep in. And every room in the pods have storage facilities where they can keep their personal belongings. We also have a little drink station for tea and coffee outside the pods where the guests can make their own tea and coffee. If they're awake in the night and just fancy a cup of coffee, then the facilities are there for them to use. And on this slide, we have some photographs of the moving on facilities. So as you can see, there's a lovely bright bedroom. The difference with these facilities is that there is an ensuite. That means that there is a bathroom with a shower and a toilet and wash basin that they can use, just like if you're staying in a hotel. The photograph at the end, you can see the big kitchen and living area with lots of sofas, big kitchen area and a very homely communal space. And one person who's been helped by Table Living is a young man called Ben. And here we have a short video from Ben telling you a little bit about how Table Living has benefited his life.
Hello, my name is Ben Willits and I'm currently a resident in Table Housing. I've been here for a month now. So I was in a very difficult situation and Table actually stopped me from rough sleeping because I didn't have any other options to me at the time, and I was very thankful to have a shelter over my head and also to be showered and have my clothes cleaned by Table. So we have dinner together, they try and have us together for board games and other events, learn other people's situations, and so I'm extremely thankful to Table Living and all their donators and the volunteers that get involved and the staff for allowing me to have a roof over my head and get me out of a very bad situation.
Table Living continues its mission to give better opportunities to the homeless. Every year during Lent, Father Hudson holds the Good Shepherd Appeal, when we ask the youngsters in our primary schools to act like a good shepherd and reach out and help all those in need in our archdiocese. Lent starts on Ash Wednesday, which this year is on the 14th of February, and will last for 6 weeks, i.e. 40 days and 40 nights. You will shortly be receiving your Good Shepherd bags. And what we would like you to do is to put your bag somewhere where you and your families will see every day during Lent. Now that might be on a kitchen table, it might be on the fireplace in your living room, or even by the front door. But it will remind you that we are in the holy season of Lent. And what we would like you to do is to put some money into your bag regularly throughout the whole of Lent. Okay? Now some of you older children might have decided to give something up for Lent. So if you've decided to give up your favourite chocolate bar or your bag of crisps at morning break, perhaps you could put the money that you've saved into your special bag. You might like to do some chores at home. Perhaps you'd like to vacuum the carpet or tidy your bedroom. And if you receive 20 pence or 50 pence, you could put that in your Good Shepherd bag. Perhaps you might have some visitors. Grandma might come and visit, or the next door neighbour pop in. And you could tell them all about what we've been talking about today, Ben and the work of table living, and ask them if they would like to put some money in your bag too. You might like to do some fundraising events here at school as well with the permission of your teachers. Perhaps you could have a mad hair day, or you could have a silly tie day, or an odd sock day. You could even hold a book or toy sale. There must be lots of books and toys cluttering at your bedroom that you no longer want. And you could bring them to school, have a little sale, and any money raised could go towards the Father Hudson's appeal. We fully appreciate at Father Hudson's that times are tough for families at the moment, and there's not a lot of spare money going around. But if everybody does what little they can, then you'd be surprised how quickly that money adds together. Just look around you today. At your class or the school, in the hall, how many children there are. And everybody does what they can. We open up all those envelopes and bags at the end of Lent. There'll be an awful lot of money. I recently came across a tweet from Pope Francis when he was talking about charity. And it resonated with me because it spoke to me about our own Good Shepherd appeal. Pope Francis said, "How marvellous it would be if, at the end of the day, each of us could say, 'Today I have performed an act of charity towards others.'" And if you take part in this year's Good Shepherd appeal, that's exactly what you will be doing. You will be helping all the people that we're supporting at Father Hudson's, be it the homeless, be those who have disability, be it older people, people like Ben, who you've heard from this morning. So I hope you've learned something new today about Father Hudson's. I hope you've enjoyed our presentation, and please do keep in touch with us, sending in your photographs, and we can share them amongst the schools on our social media pages and show them exactly how exciting fundraising can be. Thank you.